Now, the UK Prime Minister is promising to steer Britain through what she called its stormy days. Liz Truss was speaking at the annual meeting of the Conservative Party. It's been a bumpy start for Miss Truss, who took the top job a month ago and whose mini-budget sent financial markets into a spin.
We need to get Britain moving. We cannot have any more drift and delay at this vital time. Let's remember where we were when I entered Downing Street. Average energy bills were predicted to soar above £6,000 a year. We faced the highest tax burden that our country had had for 70 years. And we were told that we could do nothing about it. I didn't accept that things had to be that way. I knew that inaction would be unconscionable. Families would have been unable to heat their homes. Businesses would have gone bust. Jobs would have been lost. And we would have worse public services, including the NHS. I couldn't allow this to happen. I refused to consign our great country to decline.
The British Prime Minister, but Liz Truss's speech wasn't entirely smooth sailing.
Let's get them removed.
There was a moment of relative chaos when Greenpeace protesters interrupted her mid-speech. The crowd began to shout and boo at the pair before they were swiftly removed from the conference hall. Well, Arise chief correspondent John Cookson was watching that speech, and he joins me now from London. Good to see you, John. So how well did the speech go down with the Conservative faithful? I mean, has it finished her off or got her out of trouble?
Hey, Charles, good to see you. Well, the interviews I've seen afterwards, as delegates left the conference hall, is seeming very positive. She told them what they wanted to hear: lower taxes, some way round getting through the financial crisis that we've got at the moment. But there was nothing new in the speech, Charles. That's the thing. It might have kept delegates in the conference hall happy. But if you're a family watching at home this afternoon, or this morning rather, when she gave her speech, and you're worried about your mortgage, you're worried about interest rates, and indeed possibly losing your home because of high mortgage rates through a very big high tonight, up to 6%, which is unheard of in recent years. There was nothing there. It was something for the party, a party that she's got to try to pull together after a dreadful couple of weeks. She's been in office now for 4 weeks. It seems longer than that. During that time, we've had U-turns and the controversy about the basic race of tax for our high wage earners, the possible squeeze on benefits that might be coming down the track. All of these things come together in Birmingham this week. She also had rebellious cabinet ministers and also MPs who disagree with her, voicing concern on TV and radio. So a difficult week. Has she done enough? Did that speech do enough? We'll have to wait and see. She started off a little bit wooden, I must say, and a little bit nervous, but you can forgive her for that. Then we had that demonstration about 13 minutes in, and that kind of broke the ice, if you like, and galvanized the room in favor of Liz Truss, and it was a much smoother ride after that. So a curious incident, changing things for the better for the Prime Minister.
And of course, John, it's all well and good speaking to the party faithful, but they can't ignore that massive gap in the polls between the Conservatives in government and the Labour Party opposition. I mean, to say the least, the Conservatives are having a torrid time, with the latest poll showing an unfavourability rating for Liz Truss of 73%.
Yeah, but the Conservatives will say, well, the only poll that matters is the general election or the by-elections that are possible before now and the general election in 2024. She is way down in the polls at the moment, but the polls don't always tell the whole story. I'm not sure that this speech today will have increased her popularity because, as I said earlier, it seemed to be aimed more at the party faithful and unifying the party rather than the general public. So expect, I think, in the coming weeks and months for Labour's Keir Starmer being well ahead in polling. But as I said earlier, the only real poll that matters is the general election. There's a long way to go before 2024, internal events, external events that no one has any control of, for example, COVID, for example, the war in Ukraine. So much can happen in the next couple of years, Charles.
Well, absolutely, John, but it is, of course, the end of that Conservative conference. How would you assess it and compare it to the opposition Labour Party's one just a week ago? Chalk and cheese?
Yeah, chalk and cheese. The Labour Party had a very good conference. There were no dissenting voices. Keir Starmer had clearly settled down the left wing, the hard left wing of the party. There were no surprises. The Conservatives, by complete contrast, has been a maelstrom of malcontents within the party, indeed in the cabinet, voicing concern about the direction the government is heading. Liz Truss still sticking by her guns. She made that very clear today that to achieve growth, there has to be change, that we're entering a new era. And she's the woman to lead the country into that new era. We'll only find out really how things stand in the coming weeks and months. And they're going to be difficult months ahead. Winter approaching, fuel prices going through the roof, and there are other difficult issues for the government to cope with, not least the finance bill, getting that through Parliament. This arose, of course, from the dreadful mini budget that we had a week or so ago. She still has to get through that through Parliament, and that's by no means certain at the moment without full support from our own party on a number of difficult issues. Not least, for example, any squeeze on benefits.
John, thanks very much indeed. John Cookson, Arise chief correspondent, talking to me there from London.